Let me begin by asking you to sum up your career for me and give me a sense of the highlights at SABMiller so far.
Well, I've only been here a year, but in that very short space of time, I think the most notable thing that's happened has been the continued rollout of the Peroni brand through a number of different international markets. I think we're now up to 7 launches in the last 2 years. The brand's really motoring very, very strongly, and we're putting fantastic foundations in place to ensure its future growth. Before joining SABMiller, I spent 15 years in Diageo in a variety of different roles, including Global Brands Director for the Johnnie Walker brand. And my last role at Diageo was Marketing Director for the Guinness beer business on a global basis. Immediately before joining, I was at Cadbury Schweppes as President of Global Commercial Strategy. I left there at the back end of 2006 to join SABMiller.
Let me turn to the global marketing function. What does the global marketing function actually do?
Well, the central marketing function's job in the business, if you like, is something which we agree with the regions and the businesses that we work with. And there are essentially 4 areas that we've agreed we should be focusing on. First of all, as I mentioned earlier, the development of winning positionings for the 3 international premium brands, Peroni, Miller and Pilsner Urquell. Secondly, the development of stronger capacity and stronger capability in terms of marketing. In other words, the processes and the tools we use, the insights that we generate, the way that we apply those to activations in market. The third area where it's important for us to provide leadership to the businesses is in the whole area of developing our innovation capacity and capability. So, what are the consumer trends and insights that offer opportunity for new product development around the world? The role of the centre is to lead initial thinking in concept development that can then be picked up and executed at the local level in the markets. And finally, the fourth area where we've got a particular responsibility is the more general one of, basically I guess you call it pattern recognition. What's the shape of competition in beer? What patterns are evident when you sit and look at the whole world that aren't necessarily evident when you sit in an individual business or you sit in an individual region? And what learning can the whole business draw from those to be more effective in the way that it's planning for the future?
And how does the relationship between the global marketing function and the regions work in practice?
Well, our business model is one of decentralised collaboration, and we have that business model for the very sensible reason that it's the best way to manage and grow and be successful in a beer market where competition is intensely local. Supply chains are intensely local, brand portfolios are intensely local, and therefore the orientation that the centre, in my function anyway, takes towards the businesses is basically a customer focus. What do the businesses need as our customer to be better able to compete locally and win locally?
You talked about the decentralised nature of the business and indeed the marketing function. So why is the decentralised model the right way for SABMiller?
I think 3 reasons. The first is that it follows the nature of competition in the markets in which we compete. You can't compete successfully in Poland if you're waiting for all the decisions to come about what you should do from London. Very simple. You'll be caught out. The second thing that makes it work is the nature of the people that we employ. I think it's fair to say that we've got, certainly in my experience, accurate to say, that we've got more talented general managers running the local businesses than I've seen in any of the 3 multinationals that I've worked for before. And the final thing I think that makes the system work is that it puts great pressure on the centre, which we have to live up to deliver thought leadership, better thinking that takes people's understanding of what they're doing and their ability to do what they want to do further. So it depends on great local talent, and it depends on lots of hard work in the centre to be additive rather than contradictory to what local markets need to get done to win in the marketplace.
You mentioned the international brands. I wondered if you could tell us how they're positioned in the marketplace and how they're doing.
Well, all the international brands are going well. We've experienced over the last 4 or 5 years when the international premium sector, if you like, of the beer business has been growing between 3 and 4%, varies a little bit year by year. We've been growing at 16%. So we're doing better than competition right now. The positioning of the 3 international brands is pretty straightforward, basically. Peroni is positioned as the application of Italian style to beer, a unique positioning in our world and one which has been going extremely well. Miller Genuine Draft is essentially positioned as an alternative take, a more relaxed take on what it is to be drinking beer. And Pilsner Urquell is, as it should be, as the first ever Pilsner beer, the beer that invented the category, is positioned as the original, as the authentic and first and only truly original golden lager.